Close your eyes and imagine a map of the American West. You likely see the familiar silhouettes of gold miners, rugged pioneers, and the endless, dusty trails stretching toward the sunset. But look closer. Beyond the legends of outlaws and lawmen, do you see the women who built the very foundations of these frontier towns? Among them stands a figure of quiet strength and unparalleled ambition. Meet Sarah Bickford. Her journey did not begin in a mansion or place of privilege. It began in the Deep South, within the heavy chains of enslavement in Georgia. Born around 1852, she spent the formative years of her youth under the brutal, long shadow of a nation divided against itself. She was a child of a system designed to break the spirit, yet her spirit remained remarkably intact, waiting for the dawn of a new era. The winds of change finally swept across the land as the Civil War drew to a bloody close. Slavery was abolished, and the shackles were physically removed. But for Sarah and millions like her, freedom did not automatically mean equality. The future remained a terrifying, blank page, filled with the echoes of a past that refused to let go. Sarah, however, chose to write her own story. She looked away from the scars of the South, turning her gaze toward the distant, glowing horizon of the West. It was a journey of thousands of miles, a trek fueled by a desperate hope for a life defined by work rather than birthright. Eventually, her feet touched the soil of Virginia City, Montana. The gold rush had already peaked, leaving behind a bustling hub of dreamers, laborers, and those looking for a second chance. In this sea of strangers, Sarah found her purpose. In a town built on gold and grit, everyone needed a place to rest their head and a hot meal to sustain them. Sarah saw an opening where others saw only hardship. Alongside her husband, she opened a boarding house. This was more than just a wooden building. It was a lifeline for travelers navigating a harsh and unforgiving land. She provided comfort in a place that offered very little of it. But life on the frontier was never simple. When her husband passed away, Sarah stood at a lonely crossroads. The world expected her to walk away, to fade into the background as a widow of color in a white-dominated society. She could have surrendered to the weight of her grief and the pressures of the era. Instead, she gripped the reins of her destiny tighter than ever before. She chose to lead, refusing to let her dream die with her partner. In an era where both race and gender were used as blunt instruments to keep people out of the boardroom, Sarah Bickford became a titan of industry. She did not just manage a small business. She mastered the complex machinery of commerce. She handled the finances with precision, managed a diverse staff with authority, and protected the reputation of the town's most essential businesses. When the local economy faltered and the gold began to thin, she pivoted her strategies. When the ugly face of prejudice loomed over her counters, she did not flinch. She met every challenge with an unshakable professionalism that silenced her critics. She understood that in the West, results often spoke louder than words. By the turn of the 20th century, Sarah had transformed herself into one of the wealthiest black women in all of Montana. She was no longer just a business owner surviving on the fringes. She was a civic pillar, a woman whose influence was felt in every corner of Virginia City. Her success was a direct challenge to the narrow myths of the frontier, proving that grit knows no color. Today, her boarding house still stands in Montana, a quiet and weathered witness to a life of monumental achievement. Sarah Bickford's story serves as a powerful reminder that history is not solely the domain of presidents, generals, or those with famous names. It is forged in the fires of daily struggle by individuals who, through the sheer force of their will, carve a path where none existed before. She reminds us that the American frontier was built by a diverse tapestry of pioneers who refused to be defined by the barriers of their time. Her legacy is a testament to the fact that with enough determination, you can build a home, a business, and a future anywhere your heart dares to go. Sarah did not just inhabit the West, she helped create it. And in her story, we find the courage to face our own frontiers, knowing that the only limits that truly exist are the ones we fail to challenge.